Not like that. Try it like this. I'm gonna show you guys how to actually use cheat curls to your advantage, go over the pros and cons to make sure you guys are doing them right, not just toss your back up. I got a kettlebell here and I wanna use a kettlebell because it's gonna give you guys a better idea of how to use your hips, because cheat curls don't come from your lower back. They come from your hips. The power you generate in force in almost every sport is coming from your hips. From the ground up and then kicking through your hips and through, whether it be a punch, whether it be a slap shot, a baseball swing, a baseball throw, a football throw, a golf swing, whatever it is, cleans, deadlifts, you're using your hips. What we're doing is creating a little bit of momentum from our hips to help generate a little bit of momentum to help get the weight up. So, a quick lesson on how to do a kettlebell swing. Hopefully you guys know how to do it. If you do not, here's the way to not do them first. This is not a kettlebell swing. That is a bad kettlebell swing. That is actually a squat. A kettlebell swing comes from the hips and it's out and it's catching and pull, catching and pull. Now you've probably seen bad kettlebell swings. They look like this. Looks kind of like a cheat curl, doesn't it? My back. The proper way to do a kettlebell swing is from here, right, feet are shoulder width apart. We're gonna pull in and then swing with the hip. Catch with the hip, swing. And we're catching and throwing the hip forward. Now if you see my alignment, I don't hyperextend my back. Doesn't matter how high the weight goes up. The weight being pulled up is generated by my hips. If I want to go higher, more hips. If I want to go a little lower, not as much hips. But you can see, it's basically me catching the weight and using my hips, force a little bit of a tiny bit of a hinge from here to here to help create force and momentum to come up. Not from here to here. There's a difference. Hey, what's good, people? Struggling to keep up with your routine, or you feel like you're just spinning the wheels? Well, you came to the right place. Check out the link in the description below for my customized one-time training or nutrition plans. I'm also offering online coaching with weekly check-ins and unlimited contact with myself. And look, if you don't want to dive in right away and you have some questions, book yourself a video call with myself. And at the end of the consult, I deduct off any package that you pick. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the show. So let me show you what it looks like when we're doing bicep curls. I'm doing a regular curl, alternating each arm. And then it's starting to get hard. One of those like, oh, you finally get it up. Then you're like, oh, you know that the next set or the next rep is gonna be pretty hard. So you go one arm and then you use the hips and you pull. See what I just did? I hit my hips back and then they went forward slightly. Just here. And the point of this, and it goes from here to here. And what I'm trying to make sure that I do is that I stop my hinge at when I'm fully extended, not hyperextended. The only thing you guys probably need to change with your cheat curls is stop here, not here. If we're doing a deadlift, you'd stop here, not here. If you were squatting, we would stop here, not here. So when we're doing these, we're gonna catch it with a rhythm and we're up. It's a slight pull. And we wanna do these when it gets really hard. We don't wanna start doing cheat curls the second you pick the weight up. Don't pick the weight up and do this. Wait until you get to the point where that positive, the concentric is getting really tough, but you got enough left in you for that negative, the eccentric load on the way down. So now use a little bit of cheat curl to get it up so you can control it down. We don't use cheat curls to get it up and to let it drop down. We use cheat curls to help with getting the weight up so we can get that nice stretch and eccentric load on the way down. And then same thing on this side and controlling it. It's a subtle thrust from the hips, not a full extension. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when we're doing easy bar curls. You can do the same thing when we're doing barbell curls as well too. Same idea. Doesn't matter where you're grabbing it. You can grab it in the middle, doesn't matter. What we're focusing on is controlling the momentum so we can control the weight down. That's the point. The main point of being able to do cheat curls is to help you get the weight up so you can control it down. Cheat curls aren't to get your ego a little bit of a boost so you can impress your friends that you can throw around 50 pounds or whatever you think is impressive as a dumbbell curl or any kind of curl. The point of this is to use a bit of that hip thrust to get it up, but to control it down. And then I'm here and it's up and controlling it down, right? So I'm doing my set, I'm doing like 10 to 15 reps. And I'm like, oh, this is starting to really suck. And I'm at like 10, then I'm at like 11, and you're at 12. And then you're at the last one. You could see how I didn't thrust my hips and end up back here with the weight over here. This is where you don't want to be. You want your cheat curl to finish here. That's the only big difference. A little bend of the knees, a little bit of a hip hinge, and then we're extending at the hip, pulling up, and then controlling it down. We are not hyperextending at the hip and then going down, right? Because if I do, is there any tension here? No. But there's a lot of tension here. And that's what our goal is, to get it here, control it down. A little bit of a hip thrust and get it down. Hip thrust to extension, not hyper extension. Remember, when we're doing cheat curls are to be used to help us get to the concentric or the positive so we can control the weight down. Don't put cheat curls at the beginning of your bicep exercise. Use them when you need help at the end so you can get the most out of your set. Then when it comes to actual technique, remember, we're doing a small hip hinge to full extension, not hyperextension. The biggest takeaway from this entire video is to make sure when you're doing cheat curls that we're not hyperextending at the lower back, but just getting to a full extension, using that momentum to help us get the weight up and controlling it back down. Anyway, guys, for more videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, guys, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep gym chasing. Peace.